Today you're looking at a Petit machine, a long bay in a small town in Ohio. This wash, you're going to see about 47 washes in real time in 2 hours. So averaging about 23 cars an hour, which is fairly normal in a normal or in a easy clean setting. I thought it'd be easier instead of typing all this out just to go audio with you guys and answer some commonly asked questions, or at least go over what we got going on here. So it's worth asking yourself what the majority of customers really want. We all know the outliers, a squeaky clean car or various requests, but what do 99%, 95 of customers really want? They want a car clean and they want in and out. People just don't want to wait around. So we're showing you March 15th, 2023. You're going to watch all these cars go through. I'll also put up on the screen this day. They washed 218 cars in this one bay. They washed 228 cars the following day in this bay. Each, just one day, just one bay. There is a bay next door to this wash that performed the similar numbers. So we're looking at 450 cars per day on a 2-bay site. However, we're going to share a few more screenshots if they fit. Let's look at, this is another location. This is a location near the Cleveland area, and they have several 300 car days. You see all the 200 car days circled. You'll see the 300 car days starred and circled, and then you'll see how many cars they were washing an hour. So another long bay, and we have 25, 26 cars an hour throughout the whole day from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. They're all 25 to 26 cars, besides 1 hour being 24 at 9 a.m. So full day there, and you'll see the 300 car days. We have at least 5 300 car days here. 6 300 car days, actually. 7, 8, okay. 9 300 car days, and this chart. But some of it's this year and the previous year, because that's how the Petit system shows you your current year and your previous year. If you look at that there, we're going to bring up another chart. Same location. Now there's a few 400 car days out of a long bay. So we have a 426, 456. This is toward the bottom of the page. 458, 442, a 389, almost 394, and a 5,200 car month on a single bay. You're going to, you also see 26 cars an hour there. In fact, you're going to see, pull this back up on my end, 25, 26 cars an hour. This site has hit 29 cars an hour. Thus, we put that on the website. We do have another client that's regularly doing 29 to 30 cars an hour. Now, that is an irregular site. This site and the average in 25, 26 cars an hour, nobody there ever. Just a clean vacs and garbage. Typical. The site where we have someone averaging the 29, 30 cars an hour, that is a manned site where it was a former hand wash, and they're doing prep and kind of stuff there. So they're shooting through pretty fast. That's abnormal. Just thought I'd mention it. However, this unmanned site has hit 29 cars an hour. This is a quick preview of a month of 50, just about a 5,700 car month on a single bay. They had 380 cars in one day at this location. Washed 300 cars on more 7 days. Washed 200 to 300 cars on 8 days. So the single bay there. Just bring this up so you guys can see some stats here. There's another one, 23, 24 an hour. But what we really want to look at is this, the 16th. So the day after I shot this. This was in a normal clean setting. So with the Petit, you could toggle between, you could set your recipes. And you basically, most people have 3 or 4 recipes. And then you could set recipes beyond that. So you could have a normal cleaning, which most run maybe throughout the year. You can have a tough cleaning, which I'll get to in a minute, and an easy cleaning. So this is a normal cleaning, and we're still getting 22 cars an hour when the line allows for it. So 22 cars an hour, 19, 17, 21, 22 on a normal clean. This is a long bay. If that was a short bay, you'd probably be in the 16 to 18 car range on normal clean. On easy clean, you'd probably be in the low 20s, and a tough clean, you'd probably be in the 15 to 17 car range. However, all this is variable. It depends on how you set it up. Most of the washes that you're seeing, well, all the washes you're seeing today on these charts we're bringing up, they are for longer bays, and they're all 4 passes. So again, what does your customer really want? We know the Petit is kind of in a unique class at the moment where we can get the car clean in 4 passes. You'll see a lot of pretty dirty cars here. They are a little salty. It is a warmer day. Salt is a little bit easier to clean. We couldn't look back. We don't know if this was a normal or easy clean. It was probably an easy clean setting on this day that you're seeing the 24, 25 cars an hour. But they were hitting 23, so it might have been a normal clean. However, to give you a little preview and an understanding of how that works, the normal cleaning is what you would normally have it set on. If you have a day, well, let's say in the north here as an example, or maybe even in the south, you have certain days like this where you're just getting off dust and sand, or out west. A scenario up here in the north would be exactly what you're seeing, a warm day with really salty cars. It's going to, rain the next day. These cars want in and out, and they want clean, but they want in and out. So we're going to speed the machine up. You just hit the toggle of easy clean, and whatever recipe we have under the easy clean, instead of going through every recipe and resetting it, it's going to speed everything up. So here we have the machine maybe 15, 20 seconds faster, maybe 30 seconds, but most likely in the real world, the easy clean at this bay is probably only like 20 seconds faster than a normal clean. So you'll have your normal clean, and then you have a tough clean. So at this location, especially this year, it was a really tough cleaning year in the Ohio and the upper Midwest in general. Upper Midwest, upper East, we had a lot of road film. So you hit it on tough clean. So what that's going to do is 2 things, and you can set it up several different ways. You can add, obviously, more dwell for film, because that's what we were dealing with here this winter, this fall, and even this spring. So we just really need more dwell time on the car. However, in other locations, you would want more dwell on a tough clean in addition to a slower power pass. So on both the easy and normal cleaning, we're washing each part of the car twice with every power pass. If you watch the oscillation in slow motion, you're getting a minimum of passing each part of the car a minimum of twice on the pressure pass with every pass. Now, with a tough clean, you could set it up where you're washing each part of the car a minimum of 4 times with every pass. In other words, those arms that you're seeing go back and forth on the high pressure pass, those arms are slowed down and the oscillation is sped up. So you're washing each part of the car 4 times with every pass. Now, you could customize that to do just the back, just the front, or the whole car that way. So for us, where we were at, we would want to do the whole car. It's more dwell time really out here than getting more pressure on it. However, in the South, as an example, in bug season, you want more dwell time on a tough clean, but you can also slow the machine down to really scrub the bugs off the front. So you can just do the front and the back with that extra oscillation. So you're really scrubbing the front, and you're also getting the back really well. You don't even have to do the back as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can set it up and still get that throughput. So that's what we wanted to show you here. The typically in this area, the long bays, we're still seeing the low 20s, so 22 car an hour. Typically 20 to 22 car an hour on a normal clean. Again, on a tough clean, maybe 18 cars an hour. Easy clean in that 25 car an hour range. Hitting 26 or 27 on occasion. The way we have it set up, and all that can vary. The reason we're showing you 2 hours of footage, and I'm not going to talk for 2 hours by any means, is because there is so much misinformation out there. And this is a normal day to us. That's why we're showing you various screenshots of the data. This is really normal to a Petit customer who sets it up how we suggest and how a lot of people in Ohio, Pennsylvania set it up. We do see some people setting up all the way up to 5 minutes, maybe in rural areas, out west in the middle of nowhere, Texas, by a lake, where they have to really scrub some extra dirt and mud off. But it's important to keep in mind the way the machine is designed. Power is the least of the problem you'll ever have. It's going to blow dirt and mud off very easily. The machine is extraordinarily more powerful than anything else out there. Part of that's the two pumps, part of it is the oscillation, and part of it is the much bigger water droplet we're using, because that mass and inertia can get the dirt and residue off much easier. Now, it's important to understand the theory of marginal gains. When you add all that together, both pumps, oscillation, which is like an agitation type process, as well as a bigger water droplet, you get exponential gains from that. It's just not 2 + 2 + 2 = 6. The way that works is it's a much higher percentage. So that's one way we're able to get the cars a lot cleaner, a lot faster. We do have people that maybe want a cleaner car in the 3-minute range, and we do have a few people doing that out this way. So they want the car cleaner. Mostly that's a film issue, because residue isn't going to be a problem for the most part, no matter what, even in rural areas. Residue and dirt and mud isn't too difficult to clean off. Bugs can vary how long they've baked in the sun. You guys know that, but that's more of a dwell time. I would put the bug situation very similar to the film situation, because that's more dwell time and letting the chemical work. The power's still there if the chemical can work on it. Go back to the previous thought here. So we do have some doing a 3-minute pass, or a 3-minute 4-pass, or a 3-minute 6-pass. So they're speeding the machine up on a 6-pass, still getting the dwell, but they're adding some jazz with some extra show or waxes, and still getting a car out, a normal size car, in the 3-minute range, like 3 flat or 258, 304, something like that. And we have some 4-pass people that are doing the high 2s, maybe even had 3 minutes on a 4-pass, just letting the dwell time do the work. Now, there's more understanding that we're going to outlay here, because we do have data from across the country, hundreds and hundreds of machines. And typically, well, not typically, just about every time, the faster the machine is set up, the wash owner is making more money. That's why we put the question at the beginning, what does your customer really want? And as an example, I bring up the 3-minute wash. In this area, we're getting the cars pretty darn clean. Every season's different, but pretty darn clean in 2.5 minutes. So a normal size sedan or a normal SUV is about exactly 230. Your truck's going to be in the 245 range. A smaller car is going to be in the 215, 220 range. So let's just say 2.5 minutes, the car's pretty clean. Depending on the season and the rain scenario and the road film, let's say in the 2.5 minute range, I'm going to bring up an example here. So let's say there's a hint of a mask. So a lot of people ask about the masking of an in-bay, a touchless, compared to like a friction. And this is where we're bringing up that question, what does the customer really want? So what I've noticed is maybe it's a tougher to clean car, and there might be a little bit of a mask on some of the cars sometimes, or really it is depending on the season and the amount of rain and the baking in the sun and all that kind of stuff. But let's say it's a tougher than normal cleaning week, and at the 2.5 minute, the cars have a hint, some of the cars have a hint of a mask on in the windshield area. Now the people running maybe a 3-minute wash, that mask is completely gone. So an extra 30 seconds, the extra dwell time is going to get that mask off. However, again, the reason we're bringing this up is, what does a customer really want? So the machines out here have been running for 10 plus years, and these machines running 10 plus years, some of them don't even have monthlies, and they're washing 40,000 plus cars a year out of one long bay. A lot of the short bays around here are doing 30,000, around 30,000, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less in the shorter bays. We bring that up is because they're all set at the 2.5 minute. So most people, again, there's people doing this across the country. I'm just going to talk specifically of the video you're seeing. We have just dozens and dozens and dozens of washes washing this 2.5 minute, and they're doing higher volume than any other washes we're seeing anywhere else, whether that's our machine or anybody else's machine. Now, again, we have a little bit of an advantage because the design was made to get a car clean quicker and more powerfully than anybody else in the market. So that is an advantage. However, the point we're making is a lot of these washes could get the car maybe 5-10% cleaner in a 3-minute range, but they're not. They're keeping at the 2.5-minute range. Why is that? Because of the volume they are doing with the customers. If the customers weren't happy, they wouldn't be washing 30, 40,000 cars a year. We have 4 different washes, to my knowledge, doing over 55,000 cars a year out of a bay. We have doubles doing 70,000 plus, triples doing over 100,000 cars. The point is, it's not your opinion, it's not our opinion, it's the customer's opinion. A lot of these washers do zero advertising. They are just your average in-bay. Now, they're clean and well lit, and they're clean and well lit, so it's really important. They have ingress, egress, and stacking. That really matters in the in-bay, how easy it is to get in and out of the wash and the stacking. That being said, they're not advertising. Most of these washes, most of these numbers I'm explaining, just about all the numbers I'm explaining, it's just an in-bay that is open. They're not on Facebook. They're not doing any advertising, any specials. They're simply open, and most of these quotes I'm giving you, people aren't running monthlies. So the numbers where you're hitting the 30, 40,000, 50,000 without monthlies, those have been established probably 5+ years. The ones that are running the 40, 50,000 with monthlies, they accomplish that in like a year and a half, 2 years. So that would be the difference in this area with monthlies. So typically, the monthlies are helping the washes get to the volume. What would normally take a wash 5 to 7 years, they're getting there in a year and a half to 2 years. Something to keep in mind. This wash you're looking at does not have a monthly program. Traffic count here is about 7,500, and there's a bay next door. So this location, I believe, I did not look this up, out of 2 bays is doing about 45,000 cars a year, maybe 50,000 cars a year. However, 1 bay, before the second bay was built, was doing 33,000 cars out of 1 bay, 1 long bay. Please email us some questions you may have. We're happy to answer questions here. The main reason we are putting out this video again is just, this is normal operation. This isn't abnormal. When people come out to visit, you're going to see this all the time. Obviously, it's weather dependent on how many cars you're going to see washed that day. But how the machine is set up is exactly how you're seeing it right now. You're going to see 18 to 25 cars an hour on a long bay. On a short bay, you're probably going to see 16 to 20 cars an hour. It's just normal operation. This is how we set it up. This is best practice. And that's all there is to it. A lot of people, there's been so much disinformation from all manufacturers and in this sector. And this is why we're putting the video out. This is just normal. And this is why we're showing you the stats. It's no smoke and mirrors. It's just the way it is. And it's really hard for people to conceptualize that until they come out and see this in action. So I just grabbed a video while I was out doing some other things and just let the camera roll. This is all my batteries would allow me to do. So we got 2 hours of video, and that's what you're going to see here. So speaking of disinformation, what you're seeing here, all these washes are using 45 gallons of water per car, maybe a little bit less, because this is a slightly faster day. Again, this may be in the easy clean setting. Not 100% sure on that. But on the easy and normal clean, we're using about 45 gallons of water per car. Typically, total site usage, meaning RO reject, your cleaning the bays, we're in the 50-gallon average a car or lower total site usage typically. We had we saw some message board activity where people that don't own the machine were explaining they believe it's a water hog, which is pretty funny to us. And one of our local guys did the math, and he texted us and said, hey, I have averaged 39 gallons a car of water on my total site usage last month. So yeah, we just call it 45 gallons of water per car if you set it up how we suggest. Now, you can set up a 4 or 6 pass and still be in that 45 gallons of car range, depending on how many pressure passes. Again, most people in most places in the country, the large majority of the country, you're not going to need more than 1 high pressure pass. If you do want to do a 6 pass, you're seeing all 4 passes here, and this is how our most profitable clients are set up. However, if you do want to do a 6-pass, I strongly encourage to do just more chemical or more dwell time, or do something quote unquote fancy for the customer seeing some show and chemical. You still really only need one high pressure pass. That is the main thing to keep in mind. Again, most of you across the country only need one high pressure pass. The machine is powerful enough to get their car clean, and that's one way we actually are able to get better activation on the chemical, because you will see at this wash, we're not wetting the cars. We don't need to side blast the cars. Now, this is an easy clean day, but even on tough cleaning days, even on more rural areas, we don't suggest a side blaster for most customers because, again, power, there's hundreds and hundreds of percent more cleaning power. So just get the pre-soak on early. We have CTAs. I don't see them firing at this location. They may not even be on at this location because we're always doing experimentation at this location. But typically on the best wash, a lot of owners opt the CTA. It's like a $1,000 option, and you're putting extra pre-soak on the side and on the wheels. And that's what we would suggest. Just more dwell time is all you need. Getting the residue off with our power is not a problem. So we don't need to wet the car. Because of that, we got better chemical activation. It's going on a dry car. Because of that, we clean better. And again, it's just a cascading effect with how the machine was designed from the get-go. To summarize on the water usage, 45 gallons a car, and most people don't need multiple high pressure passes. If you want to do that, then that's fine, or maybe have a medium pressure pass with a wax. You might go up a little bit from there. Now, obviously, if you're doing 2 or 3 high pressure passes, if that's how you choose to set the machine up, that's fine. That's your choice. But again, the most profitable washes in the country are pretty much doing this. 4 passes, maybe a 6 on the top. I would try 4. If you do 6, you still really only need 1 high pressure pass. A comment on RO usage. Because of our bigger nozzles, we get better spot free, and we do use a little bit more RO than maybe some other machines out there by the way it's designed. But we want that car super spot free when we're done. So we're using a little bit more spot free. Still, that water usage total is what I mentioned before. Still 45 gallons per car. Maybe using a little bit more spot free. People have to, on a fairly often occasion, upgrade their spot free. Now, it's not because we're using maybe a little bit more per car. Let's say it's 10-15% more per car. But when you're gaining 5-10 cars an hour, then your spot free may not be able to keep up. So it's important when you're looking to upgrade, you may need to upgrade your spot free system because you're just getting more cars per hour. And a lot of people don't think that through. As for chemical usage, that's definitely obviously a per site situation. What you're seeing in this video, we're averaging retail price about $1.25 of chemicals on that site total. So take all the washes across the board, divide it by the chemicals we're using, averaging about $1.25 a car on chemical, about 45 gallons a car on water. I'm going to jump to a few frequently asked questions. Many people ask if I'm going from a 4 to 7 minute wash, how are my customers going to react to a 2.5 minute wash, 2.5 to 3 minute wash? And I've asked a handful of owners this because I get asked that. So I take every opportunity to ask people that are going from one machine to a Petit machine what happens there. And I've heard everywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months. It takes them to acclimate the customers. After digging in further, it seems like usually in the 6-week range, people are acclimated if someone's on site, or if they kind of half-heartedly at least, or by all the way into having someone on site for about 6 weeks and then explaining to the customers they have a more modern machine. If it's a completely unattended site, even after the refresh with a Petit, then it might take a little longer. Best practice when you're going from another machine to a Petit is, this is always a good practice when you're changing prices or anything as well, is just tell a customer what's going to happen before it happens. So 2 months before you install your machine, or during the install, everything's closed down, new modern machine coming, just, market it a little bit to let people know something new and something new is happening. A fresh coat of paint on the building, maybe, you know, spruce up the vacuums might help as well. Make it look like the whole site like something happened there. It's in a new place or a newer place, or you spent some time. Just don't replace the machine. Try to find something else to spruce up, and that'll help the customer's subconscious perception of what's going on. They'll be more open to change. But really, owners haven't had a problem, and the large part to this. Actually, they haven't had a problem at all. So on occasion, when a customer, this is really rare, but it does happen because people ask. You know, customers used to go into the gas station that's taken 7 minutes, and then they go to yours, it's 2.5. They will put on a rating, you know, I didn't get everything, or I don't think I got everything. Usually people will ask, did I get everything? And then you can explain to them through correspondence, and every once in a while you'll get a rating, but it's a very rare thing. Yes, it does happen, but it's very rare. Again, if customers weren't happy, the numbers wouldn't be what they are. Another comment I get often is, this won't work in my market. That might work right where you're at. And that people have to ask themselves, did tunnel owners ask the same question when monthlies became popular? And I will tell you, yes, they did. There's a lot of questions all businesses have asked, and a lot of business owners have thought throughout history that their quote-unquote market wouldn't accept this. And I would say 95, 99% of the times that simply isn't the case. They just haven't tried it yet. There's a few aspects here. You know, you may think your customer needs a 5 to 7 minute wash to get their values worth, is what a lot of in-bay owners think. Again, our data shows the exact opposite. But let's say, who is going to be the first person to do 2.5 minute pet-it in your town? Who's going to have the first pet-it near you? And do you think the numbers that we're experiencing here and across the country, it's not just here where we're at, but the ones that have it set up quickly, are gaining an easy 10,000 cars a year compared to their old machine? Do you still think that? And the other ingredient to that is, owners have created their own market. Whether you like it or not, as a wash owner or a restaurant owner or anybody else, you've contributed to what your customers think is normal. So how you set things up in the past, how you set them up in the future, you're creating your market. And you can change that. You could retrain customers as well. For the most part, at some point in time, just like at some point in time, depending on the size of the city, a tunnel is going to come to town that's running monthlies and a strong competitor, and they're going to take a lot of business. At some point, someone's going to come to town with a pet-it and run 2.5 minutes and wash 10,000 more cars than you and maybe take some of your business. It's just, you have to ask yourself, you know, what do my customers really want? Again, the whole point of this, and do I want to commit to that or not? And if I don't commit to it, will someone else come in here and commit to it? The reality is, life is just speeding up for everybody. None of us want to wait around for anything. We want in, we want out. I don't know of anybody's life getting slower, even after retirement. Another question when it comes to high volume, it's really not on our radar at Petit because we're so used to it, is maintenance. Well, if I'm going from, 20,000 cars a year to 30 or 40,000 cars a year, how long is my machine going to last? And there is an aspect of Petit that many don't realize, is that this is a tunnel machine first. So we still sell the 360T. T is for tunnel. And our average conveyorized tunnel customer that has our tunnel machine washes between 150 to 350,000 cars a year. So we could do 10 years of R&D in 1 year. And the reason I say that is because the in-bay machine is the exact same machine. There's not a single component that's different at all. In fact, the tunnel machine has one extra sensor, if anything. And that's it. Everything else is the same. So this bridge you're watching go back and forth, the machine's exactly the same as a tunnel. The railing is longer in the in-bay because the tunnel is moving, so we can get away with a lot shorter railing on the tunnel, and you're doing a little bit more passes with the in-bay, but still we're not washing nearly the cars on an in-bay, obviously, by design. So the machine is made to go millions of cars. We have machines with over 2 million cars on them, machines that, again, wash over 300,000 plus cars a year, and you don't have to worry about maintenance at all, because if it was a maintenance hog in any way, no tunnel on Earth would ever have this in their high-volume tunnel, and we just get more and more high-volume tunnels. In fact, most of our tunnel clients are people that push a lot of cars because they want this power and to get cars clean really quick. Another question some owners have is, what if I want to charge or create a premium experience and have a higher ticket average? And to that, we have customers still charging $17, $20 and more. I know specifically of ones close to here where the top wash is $17 to $20 with ceramic, and there's still a 2.5 minute wash. So just to be clear, they're charging $20 and the wash is still 2.5 minutes long. Typically, we, or a lot of our clients, just replaced one item with another. In other words, they might have, just a drying agent on the bottom wash, maybe a sealant on the middle, and a ceramic or hot wax on the top, or hot wax on the top and an option for ceramic. So instead of a sealant and hot wax and ceramic, most are usually replacing one with another. The customers seem to react to this well. It's a nice simple menu. Instead of cluttering the menu with a bunch of options and things that people don't know what's going on, many of our clients just have a nice simple menu and they replace one item with another, and that works out very well. And again, to be clear, they have really high averages, but the average is irrelevant of the time of the wash. I know that's foreign to a lot of people, but that's just how we're doing it, how a lot of our clients are doing it, and they're making great money, obviously. Again, what does a customer want and what matters to them? I think that's all for now. So please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We would appreciate it. We haven't spent much time asking people to subscribe to this channel and share it. We would appreciate if you do. And for all the naysayers out there, we just ask you to take a trip here. We have a lot of people that do that. It will change your mind because you'll see what you're seeing here all the time. And the numbers that I've explained throughout the video will show you most of those washes that are pulling the numbers that mentioned. Again, we have those kinds of numbers across the country. That's not just in this area, but we just have a lot of them here first because that's where we originated from. And word of mouth spread quickly throughout the Ohio, Pennsylvania area. But we have people pulling these significant numbers across the country. And we are from the bottom of the country, in fact, in Dubai, all the way up to Alaska and in England. So we're a little bit of everywhere. There are blank spots in the country at the time of this recording where we could use a few more machines, but for the most part, we're in all climates. We appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the video, and we'll be putting another one up here soon. Thank you.